One of the most iconic staples of commune life was homemade whole wheat bread. Instead of store-bought white bread, members of communes would grind their own flour or buy it in bulk from health food co-ops. Bread baking became a shared ritual, often done in large batches using wood-fired ovens. Whole wheat bread was dense, chewy, and highly nutritious compared to refined bread. It symbolized self-sufficiency, one of the core values of the hippie movement. It was often eaten with natural peanut butter, homemade jam, or simply olive oil and salt until stew was a daily meal in many communes because it was cheap, filling, and protein-rich. Lentils were easy to store in bulk and didn't require refrigeration, making them perfect for rural communal living. A typical lentil stew included onions, garlic, carrots, celery, and herbs grown in commune gardens. Sometimes tomatoes or wild greens were added for flavor. The dish was slow-cooked in large pots and served to groups of 10 to 20 people at a time. It represented simplicity and nourishment without excess. Brown rice replaced white rice in hippie kitchens because it was considered more natural and less processed. Communes often bought it in 50-pound sacks from food co-ops, served with steamed or sautéed vegetables. This dish formed the base of many meals. Vegetables like zucchini, kale, cabbage, and squash were commonly used. Soy sauce or tamari was often added for flavor, reflecting the growing influence of Asian cuisine in counterculture communities. Many communes kept goats or cows, and fresh milk was turned into yogurt using simple fermentation methods. Yogurt making was part science, part tradition, and often passed around by word of mouth. Homemade yogurt was thick, tangy, and eaten with fruit, honey, or granola. It was valued for its probiotics and natural health benefits, which aligned with the hippie focus on holistic wellness and natural healing. Granola became one of the most famous hippie foods of the 1970s. It was made from rolled oats, nuts, seeds, honey, and sometimes dried fruit, baked until crunchy. Communes often made massive trays of granola at once. It was eaten for breakfast with milk or yogurt, or even as a snack during long workdays in gardens or farms. Granola represented energy, natural sweetness, and independence from processed cereals. Most communes maintained large organic gardens, and salads were a daily necessity. These were not small-sized salads, but large bowls filled with whatever was freshly harvested. Ingredients included lettuce, cucumbers, radishes, tomatoes, sprouts, and edible flowers. Dressings were simple, usually olive oil, lemon juice, or apple cider vinegar. Eating fresh salads reinforced the connection between people and the land they cultivated. Beans were a cornerstone of hippie diets because they were affordable, protein-rich, and versatile. Bean soup was especially popular during colder months. Common varieties included black beans, pinto beans, and navy beans. They were cooked with onions, garlic, and herbs, sometimes with smoked spices for depth. Many communes also added leftover vegetables to reduce waste. Bean soup wasn't just food, it was survival cooking that could feed entire communities with minimal cost. Tofu entered American counterculture through macrobiotic diets and Asian influence in the 1960s and 1970s. Hippies embraced it as a meat alternative long before it became mainstream. Tofu was fried, baked, or crumbled into stir-fries with vegetables and soy sauce. Because it absorbed flavor easily, it became a flexible protein source in vegetarian diets. For many communes, tofu represented a break from traditional meat-heavy American meals. Macrobiotic diets strongly influenced hippie food culture in the 1970s. Macrobiotic soup was a simple but deeply symbolic dish, based on the idea of balance and natural harmony. It usually contained seaweed, miso paste, vegetables like daikon radish, carrots, and onions, and sometimes tofu. The broth was light but flavorful, often eaten daily as a health tonic. Many commune members believed it helped detox the body and maintain emotional balance. Macrobiotic soup wasn't just food, it represented a philosophy of living in tune with nature. Although hummus wasn't widely known in mainstream America at the time, it spread through vegetarian and Middle Eastern influences in counterculture communities. Made from chickpeas, tahini, Garlic, lemon juice, and olive oil. Hummus became a protein-rich spread for bread and vegetables. It was easy to prepare in bulk and stored well, making it perfect for communal kitchens. Hippies loved it because it was plant-based, affordable, and full of nutrients. Sprouting grains and seeds was considered a living food practice. Communes often grew alfalfa, mung beans, and lentils in jars on kitchen counters. Once sprouted, these grains were added to salads or eaten raw. They were believed to contain more enzymes and nutrients than fully cooked foods. Sprouted grain salads often included fresh vegetables, herbs, and simple dressings. This food symbolized health, vitality, and natural growth. Cornbread was a traditional American food that hippies adapted to their communal lifestyle. It was baked in cast iron skillets over wood stoves or ovens. Made from cornmeal, water or milk, baking soda, and sometimes honey, cornbread was dense and filling. It often accompanied stews and soups. In communes, cornbread represented comfort food with a rustic, homemade feel. Sweet potatoes were widely grown in commune gardens due to their hardiness and nutritional value. They were baked directly in fire ovens or coals until soft and sweet. Often eaten plain or with butter and cinnamon, sweet potatoes were a staple during colder months. They provided natural energy and were easy to store for long periods. This simple food became a symbol of earth-based living. Asian cooking techniques became more popular among hippies. Stir-frying became a daily cooking method. Vegetable stir-fries included seasonal produce like cabbage, carrots, peppers, onions, and greens cooked quickly in oil with soy sauce or tamari. Sometimes tofu or nuts were added for protein. The fast cooking method preserved nutrients and suited communal kitchens, where meals had to be prepared efficiently for large groups. Apples were abundant in many rural areas where communes were located. Members often collected or harvested apples and turned them into homemade applesauce. The apples were peeled, boiled, and mashed, sometimes with cinnamon or honey added. Applesauce was stored in jars for winter use. It was a natural sweet treat that replaced processed desserts. Beyond whole wheat bread, many communes also baked dense rye bread mixed with sunflower, sesame, or flax seeds. This bread was heavier and richer in flavor. It was often eaten with soups or spreads like hummus or nut butter. Rye bread symbolized the shift away from refined grains toward more traditional, earthy foods. Raw food diets were becoming popular in certain commune circles. Large platters of raw vegetables were served as meals or snacks. Common items included carrots, cucumbers, celery, bell peppers, and radishes, often paired with dips like hummus or yogurt-based sauces. This style of eating was believed to preserve natural enzymes and improve digestion, reflecting the health-conscious side of hippie culture. Kale became a symbol of back to the earth, eating long before it turned into a modern superfood trend. In communes, kale was grown in abundance because it was hardy, fast-growing, and packed with nutrients. Combined with beans, garlic, onions, and potatoes, kale soup was a complete, filling meal. It was often cooked in giant pots that fed entire households. The texture was rustic, the flavor earthy, and the purpose simple: warmth, nutrition, and survival. This soup reflected the core philosophy of commune cooking: nothing wasted, everything nourishing, simple, cheap, and energy-packed. Peanut butter and banana sandwiches were a favorite quick meal in many communes. Whole grain or homemade bread was used instead of white bread, aligning with the natural food movement. Peanut butter provided protein and fats, while bananas added natural sweetness and potassium. These sandwiches were often eaten during gardening work, long hikes, or music-filled communal gatherings. It was the kind of food that required no cooking but still fit perfectly into the hippie lifestyle of simplicity and practicality. Fermentation was widely practiced in communes, not only for preservation but also for its believed health benefits. Sauerkraut, made from fermented cabbage, was one of the most common varieties. Pickled cucumbers, carrots, and even radishes were stored in large jars. These foods were tangy, rich in probiotics, and lasted through winter months when fresh produce was limited. Fermented vegetables also symbolize the hippie interest in traditional, pre-industrial food preservation method. Nut butters were a staple protein source in vegetarian communes. While peanut butter was the most common, some groups experimented with almond and cashew butters made using hand grinders or early food processors. These spreads were used on bread, in smoothies, or eaten directly as energy food. They were rich, filling, and long-lasting, making them ideal for communal storage. Nut butters represented the shift toward plant-based protein alternatives long before veganism became mainstream. Instead of processed desserts, communes often prepared fruit compotes using seasonal fruits like apples, pears, berries, and plums. The fruit was gently cooked with a small amount of honey or natural sweeteners until soft and syrupy. Sometimes cinnamon or cloves were added for flavor. Compotes were served warm or cold, often alongside yogurt or bread. They reflected the idea that dessert could be natural, simple, and free from refined sugar. Influenced by macrobiotic diets and Asian cuisine, seaweed salads became a niche but respected dish in some communes. Wakame or kelp was soaked, sliced, and mixed with sesame oil, soy sauce, and vinegar. Sometimes cucumbers or sesame seeds were added. Seaweed was valued for its minerals and connection to ocean-based nutrition philosophies. It also represented the growing global influence on hippie food culture. Potatoes were one of the most reliable crops grown in commune gardens. They were used in countless ways, but potato hash was especially popular for breakfast or dinner. Cooked in large pans, diced potatoes were fried with onions, garlic, and whatever herbs or vegetables were available. The dish was simple, filling, and highly adaptable. It was a clean out the garden meal, nothing fancy, just practical nourishment for large groups. Herbal teas were an essential part of daily life in 1970s communes. Many members grew their own herbs and dried them for year-round use. Chamomile was used for relaxation, mint for digestion, and lemon balm for calming effects. These teas were often shared in the evening as part of communal gatherings, storytelling, or music sessions. Herbal tea culture reflected the hippie focus on natural healing, mindfulness, and alternatives to industrial medicine.